ever been in a gym and you saw a cute girl coming and you started immediately thinking about all the reasons why you shouldn't go and talk with her, even though you felt an immediate pull and you knew exactly that you wanted to go and talk? You maybe start thinking, I know she's working out, so no, I will not, I will not disturb her. Or maybe I'm working out, I first have to finish, I will not be so needy. Or maybe you thought to yourself, I know she's with her friend, it will be awkward, right? Things like that. Or have you ever entered a park and there were some, suspect individuals, and you immediately started thinking about all the things that they might be thinking about you. They might be carrying around a knife, and might be want to stab you or steal your backpack or things like that. Or have you ever entered the sea or a lake and maybe it was not so visible, and so you started thinking about all the animals and sharks and snakes and all of those kind of things, like crocodiles that could be there waiting just for you to enter that lake and eat you up. These thoughts may sound ridiculous to you, but I've seen that very often. I end up having such ridiculous fears, and to be very honest, such fears in the past would have stopped me from doing what I wanted. I literally have just described to you a few thoughts that I had in the past week. But because I learned 3 simple steps that I will be sharing with you in this video, I learned how to overcome those fears, those fearful thoughts, and actually be doing what I want to be doing. This got me last week to approach a beautiful woman. This got me last week to actually go and have an amazing calisthenics workout without fearing about what other people might do there. And this got me to actually do an ice bath in a lake, even though I started thinking about all of those crazy things, because very often our mind has a real reason why it wants us to not do that thing that we fear, and it starts coming out with some crazy, stupid, ridiculous, irrational fears, total irrational fears that make us stop, basically. And if you don't want that to happen anymore, you want to kick your fears in the nuts, you want to start acting. You don't want to be there not acting because of some stupid fears. You know that you want to approach, you know that you want to do that thing, you know that you want to not be stopped by such stupid thoughts. Then you're in the right place. What are the 3 steps? First step is to actually understand exactly what you're fearing about. The fearful thoughts I had about the girl having to finish her set, or me having to finish, or her friend being around, were not fearful thoughts about that. The real fear was about my ego. To be very honest, in that situation, I probably feared, not, being rejected, and therefore having my sense of self-worth going down, and being judged by others, and therefore having my sense of self-worth going down. So those fears were just for our brain, for my brain, a way to save up and to make sure that my sense of self-worth is safe. In the case of the lake, it was my life, because I was actually going into doing an ice bath, and so maybe didn't want to go through the discomfort of taking an ice bath, so just like I'm doing right now. And so it started thinking about all the things that might go bad. And what about those people in the park? I was going to take a workout, and so maybe it didn't want to do the hard work. Maybe it wanted to not, to avoid the discomfort, and maybe it really saw a danger in those people. The thing is that we have to understand exactly what we fear, because very often our brain gives us fears about something, but those fears are just a way for our brain to not show us the real fear. So you really have to be clear about your fear, so that you can get to step number 2, which is to accept the worst case scenario. As soon as you can accept the worst thing that can ever happen, and you really deep down feel, okay, that might not be too bad, even if that happens, the worst thing, I will be alright. So you really want to think about the worst thing that can happen, and then try to accept it. In the case of the girl, maybe I slip out, follow my face, fart at the same time, and something else happen. I break something at the gym, and I then get rejected, and everyone is laughing at me. If you can accept that, then it won't be so scary anymore. If you can accept, the fact that the water is cold, or that maybe there is a big snake or a big something in the water, it won't be that scary anymore. If you can accept that those people may be not well intentioned, then it's not going to be that scary anymore. And then we get to the third step, which in every single situation is the same, and is actually the most important step, and that is to act, because through action you actually dissolve the fear. Let me explain what I mean. You probably feel a lot of fear before going to talk with a girl, but have you ever actually gone up to her and talked to her? If you did, then you know that the fear actually goes away while you do it. While you're there talking, there is no fear anymore. And if you have ever entered the sea and you didn't really see a lot, then you know that through action, through going in, the fear actually goes away. And especially when you already came out, you're there and tell yourself, yeah, actually, it was not that bad. You can redo it, right? Last year, for example, was kite surfing in Cabarete in the Dominican Republic. And while kiting, I saw a little shark, maybe 1 meter, something like that. And so obviously, my brain started thinking, oh, next time, I don't know if I will go, kiting tomorrow. But then I went again because I knew that there were no big sharks there. And I knew that at the end of the day, no one had ever, there were no attacks in that area. So I was fine. Probably not going to be the one that gets attacked. And other things like that, if you have ever been in a situation where there are some sus individuals and you actually go and calmly walk through and calmly do your things, then you know that the fear goes away while you act. So the 3 steps are the following: identify the real fear, accept the worst case scenario, and then just act, because you will see that through action your fear will go away. So this was it for this video, how to kick your fears in the nuts. I hope it helped you out. But remember, it's all about the mindset shift of understanding that the fear will actually go away if you act, that your fears are totally irrational. And so just accept your brain having fears and just go and act even though you fear that thing. That's the most powerful thing you can do. So, as I said, hope this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to like and subscribe. Wish you the best and hope to see you tomorrow's ice bath video. Ciao.